Hi everyone, so today I'm back with a new video and I'm going to be reviewing the Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation right here. So this foundation has been going viral all over TikTok, Instagram, and I know that Jeffree Star actually reviewed this a couple days ago online. So I had to pick this up. Luckily this arrived in like within 5 days of me ordering this. I had to review it and test it out for you guys, and I just was super excited about testing out this foundation. So if you guys are interested in my thoughts, please continue to keep on watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a big like, and without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this is what the packaging looks like right here, like very sleek, luxurious. This foundation retails for $48. It comes in 30 shades, and I will open it up. And by the way, I picked up the shade 1N2 Vanilla. It's V-A-N-I-L-L-E, Vanilla. I'm probably butchering that, but this is, I will show you guys what it looks like right here. And here's what the foundation looks like. I love this packaging. Like, this is so sleek, luxurious. Like, it just feels luxurious. And it comes with the pump. And I'm going to pump some out onto the back of my hand so you guys can see the shade that I picked up. And I'm hoping that this is a decent shade match because I chose this online. And I'm just praying that this is okay. And this is what the shade looks like right here. I feel like it's a little bit orange now that I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh no, I'm kind of worried, but hopefully it will work out. And the texture feels very smooth and very luxurious. Like it definitely does feel like it just feels very, very smooth. So I'm going to read the claims of this foundation right here. So it says this long-wearing foundation blurs the line between makeup and skin to reveal a healthier looking complexion. The skin-loving formula provides perfecting medium buildable coverage so weightless you'll forget that you're wearing anything at all. And it says, apply to clean skin with Laura's Real Flawless Foundation Brush. Begin with one pump as minimal product is needed to achieve your desired coverage. For best results, apply over your preferred Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. Now, I don't have the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer or the brush, but what I do have, I have my favorite foundation brush that I've been using in like almost all my latest videos. This brush was like $3.99, but it's like honestly one of the best foundation brushes that I have. So I'm going to be applying this with this brush today. And I'm also going to apply one side with primer and one side without to see if there's a difference. Okay, and for primer, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer. Now this primer, I love this so much because it does a great job at blurring your pores and just filling everything in and making your skin look super smooth. So this is what the primer looks like right here. It comes out clear, but I will show you guys. Hopefully you'll be able to see this on camera, but I'm going to apply the primer right here onto my skin, and this does such a great job at just smoothing everything out. Like, I absolutely love this primer. I have not incorporated it that often in my makeup, but let me pull my bandana up so you guys get a better view of this foundation application. But this primer is so nice and smooth. It just blurs pretty much everything out, and I have not used this in quite a while, so I feel like this is like the perfect opportunity to do so. And I was just like so excited when this product came in the mail today. I was actually at work and it popped up and said that it was out for delivery. So I have been up since like 4 in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to take, like they said, I'm going to take one pump. I'll take like 2 pumps of this foundation on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply it to this side of my face to see how this feels. And oh my gosh, this feels so luxurious. I'm just praying that this will be a decent shade match because it's very hard when you when you purchase these foundations like this on the internet, because you just don't know. Like, it's kind of hard to find your shade. So I'm just going to take my foundation brush and begin buffing this into my skin. And like I said, that this foundation was $48. So for that price tag, I'm hoping that I will actually I can make the shade match work, because as you guys know, it's very difficult just finding your right shade on the internet. That's why I prefer to just go into a store and do it that way, because I feel like you have a better chance at picking your correct shade when you go into a store. And by the way, I washed my sponge yesterday, and I have no idea what happened to it. Like, it must have fell under my bed. I have not been able to find it. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to test this with a sponge today, but since they use this with a brush, I feel like this is actually a better method for this video. And so far, here's how it is looking on my skin. I usually don't like applying foundations with a brush because I feel like they just make everything look a little bit patchy. But so far, it's looking nice on my skin. I'm just going to take a little bit more right onto the back of my foundation brush just to see if I can build up the coverage. And this shade is definitely a little bit off. Like, I just feel like the undertone, I don't know, it's just a little bit off. But it's looking nice on my skin so far. I think I'm just going to drag this down my neck. I just want to do one side of my face just to show you guys if you actually notice a difference. But so far, it is looking nice. I just feel like I said, that the brush is leaving a little bit, making it a little bit streaky. But so far, it does definitely feel lightweight on the skin. Okay, so then now I'm just going to apply some on the other side of my face to see if I notice a difference without the primer. And this definitely does feel very liquidy, and I mean, I feel like it's definitely drying down to more of a powder finish on my skin, but I'm going to have to drag this down my neck because the shade is definitely not right. And let me move my hair out of the way so I don't have foundation like fully into my hair. So let me just push this to the side and let's see if we notice a difference without the primer. And it definitely does blend easily into the skin. I just feel like I mentioned, that the brush is making it a little bit streaky, and this shade is just not right for my complexion. Like, I'm pretty sad that it is a little bit too light, or a lot too light. Like, it's kind of making me look a little bit ghostly, but hopefully we can make it work when it comes to just bronzing up my skin and powdering everything down, because I feel like once you powder everything in and set everything down with concealer and setting spray and bronzer, like, I can make it work. So, but I just need to blend this down my neck, and here's how it's looking so far on my skin. I feel like it's definitely looking a little bit cakey, but I think that's because of the brush. Like, I honestly think it's because of the brush, but so far I'm not loving how this is looking on my skin. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's just looking kind of textured. Okay, and the next for my concealer, I have not used this concealer for a long time, so I wanted to use it in today's video. That is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and I have the shade Light Nude. I have not used this in a long time, and I used to love this concealer, so I just want to apply just a little bit of this to my under eyes. And like I said, this concealer is looking nice so far, but I just feel like it's drying down to more of a, definitely has more of like a powdery look to it. So we'll just have to see how I like it once the rest of my makeup is applied, because I feel like if you have dry skin like I do, I'm not the craziest about how this is looking on my skin, to be honest. But I feel like that's probably because I can't find my sponge, and usually when I don't have sponge, things tend to look a little bit cakier. But even with other foundations that I have tested out, I still can make them work with this brush. So yeah, we'll just have to see how the rest of my products apply. But so far, I'd probably give it like a decent, like maybe 6 out of 10, because like I said, it's just looking a little bit textured on my skin. And I'm trying to see if I notice the difference between the prime side and the not prime side. Let me see. I don't really notice that much of difference, to be honest. I mean, they both look pretty similar, but let me just blend this concealer into my skin. Okay, and then to set everything, I have not used this setting powder in such a long time, but it's one of my all-time favorites from the drugstore. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild's Photo Focus setting powder, loose setting powder, and I have the shade Translucent. This is one of the best setting powders from the drugstore, so I'm just going to dump some right into the cap right here, and I feel like this will be the true test to see if I really love this powder, because I mean, to love this foundation, because this powder is absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to grab some on the back of my brush and start setting everything in place. And this setting powder from Wet n Wild is so underrated. Like, I feel like nobody really talks about this, but this powder, it just blurs your entire skin. It leaves your skin looking so smooth, flawless, like everything of that nature. And I've just been obsessed with this powder for the longest time, and I actually haven't used it in quite a while, so I definitely wanted to incorporate it in this video because I wanted to stick with products I know definitely tend to work on my skin. And like I said, if this powder can pretty much save the day when it comes to whatever I'm putting on my skin. And so far, I'm I'm not really loving how this is looking, truthfully. I just feel like it's looking a little bit, it's looking textured, it's looking pretty dry, but like I mentioned 1,000 times, I feel like it's because I'm using a brush, and usually when I use a brush, things don't turn out the greatest, but like I said, I feel like once I apply my bronzer, I hopefully will like this a little bit better, and the shade matches, I think, is what's throwing me off, because you guys can tell, like, this shade is definitely too light for my complexion. Like, maybe, if I didn't have such a tan from the summer, like I'm still carrying this tan with me through the winter months, like maybe I would like a little bit better. But here's how it is looking up close. Like you guys can see, I just feel like it's looking pretty textured, like on my forehead, like especially like in this areas right here. I feel like it's starting to, like, as you guys can see, do you see it? It's like starting to flake off. I don't know what is happening right here, but right here on my forehead, it is starting to flake off, and I am just not liking how this is looking whatsoever. Okay, and then to set my face, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And let's see if this will help take down a little bit of the texture that is on my skin. But I do like how this is looking now that I have the rest of my makeup on. I feel like it just needed, like, just the fact that, like, the shade was so light that it was throwing me off. But, so this is how it is looking on my skin right now with the rest of my makeup applied. It definitely does look a lot better, and like I said, the texture on my forehead does look a lot better now that I set it, and once I applied my bronzer and highlighter and blush, everything of that, I am liking it a lot better, thankfully. Okay, so now I want to show you guys an up-close look at how this looks on my skin. As you guys can see, like, you can see the texture on my skin. I hope it's picking up in the light. Like, it definitely does show texture, but like I mentioned, it's probably because I used a brush, but it does look a lot better now that I set everything in place, especially with the setting spray. I feel like the setting spray definitely did help melt this on to my skin. I feel like if I would have chosen one shade darker, I would have liked it a lot better, but as you guys can tell, it does look a lot better now that I applied my bronzer and highlight and blush and everything of that. I feel like I don't look as ghostly now at the moment. It looks a lot better on my skin, and I do like how it is looking. Like, once I find my sponge and once I apply it with my sponge, I'm sure I'm going to like this a lot more. But at the moment, like, it feels lightweight. I can barely feel this on my skin. If you have dry skin like I do, be leery. It does tend to show a little bit more texture than I would like, but like I said, I think it just goes down to application at the end of the day. But for $48, I think it is a nice foundation. It's definitely not one of my favorites, to be honest with you guys. Like, I have foundations from Catrice that is like $10 and Wet n Wild that I honestly like better. But I don't hate this. I feel like I would give this a great, like, probably like a 7 out of 10. It does look nice on my skin right now, but it's definitely not one of my favorites, to be completely honest. So just buy at your own risk if you have dry skin, but I feel like you can honestly make it work. Okay, and so my final thoughts on the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. I do like it. Like I mentioned, I would give this a 7 out of 10. I absolutely love the packaging. The application, it definitely wasn't my favorite application. I just feel like the texture of this is very runny. And applying with the brush, it wasn't ideal. I feel like it would work out better with the sponge. If you have dry skin like I do, you can still make it work, but it's still not one of my favorites. Like, I mean, I like it, but I don't love it. So like I said, give it a 7 out of 10. I definitely do like a lot of drugstore foundations better than this one. I feel like, a lot of times when these products are really overhyped, you just have to test them out for yourself. We all have personal preferences. We all have different skin types and everything like that. So like I said, buy at your own risk. I'm sure that there will be a lot of people who hate this and a lot of people who love this. And I'm kind of like in between. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I hope you're all doing well. And I will definitely be recording some more videos soon. Love you.